taking a walk today, and I always think about what I'm going to find. And I would like to document them, but I don't always have a chance to do that kind of thing. So today's In My Backyard show is here at Surrey Mountain Dam, and we are going to talk to a wildlife photographer. His name is Fred Martin, and he has been doing this for quite a while. He's been taking a lot of photographs throughout his life, but now he's really focused. He's retired. This is his 40-hour-a-week job, and he doesn't get paid for it, except he does sell his photographs so that people can use them and put them in their houses. They're even signed, so they're just beautiful. So we're going to talk with Fred a little bit today about where he got started, what his favorite topics or subjects are, where he likes to do his photograph, and some of the equipment that he uses. So Fred, the floor is yours.
Good.
Yeah. So behind us here, you have some of the larger pictures that you've taken. And just to get us started, look at this beautiful fox. Now, where was this taken, Fred?
I was taken in Chesterfield off of 9A near Spofford Lake about a week ago or so.
Yeah.
There was a whole litter of them. That's just one of them. And he was a light colored fox.
Yeah.
So he was sleeping on the mulch pile.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So how many shots do you need to take in order to get something like this?
That one was easy because almost everyone come out. He was pretty close, but usually 1 out of 200 to be sellable probably.
Yeah. Isn't it nice to have those digital cameras now compared to what we used to have?
You can erase what you don't want.
Right,
And keep
right,
what you
right. But you know, what you're making is history here, because you're never going to get that moment again.
Want. No.
So,
No.
yeah.
Not this one especially. This is my favorite one.
Let's show them this one too then. Yeah. So this one here, tell us a little bit about this one, Fred.
This one was down in Surrey Beach, right near the boat ramp, and he was in a tree, and I guess he was cleaning these feathers, and I got a good shot at him.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So tell me a little bit, how did you get started?
I started when I was in the Marines. I did a little of it, then I retired, then I went full-time. So the last 12, 13 years I've been doing it almost every day. I don't miss many days.
Right, right. What kind of camera did you start out with?
I started with the old 35s, the old Kodachrome back in the 60s, and then the new technology today. I'm doing these today. This one here today.
Yeah. So
That's
this
one
is
of
your
my
cameras.
cameras. Yeah, that's the Sigma lens with a Canon camera, and it's all camo, which you can see.
And it's customized.
It's customized. Yes. And right here, you notice I have a piece of thread to let me know what way the wind's going, so the deer won't smell me, and the bears or whatever.
Yeah.
So I try to camo up much as I can. And I have about 5 cameras. That's a 500 millimeter, and I also have a 400 and an 800. So this one here was taken at the boat ramp in Surrey. I don't know if it's the same eagle, but this was a different day. And the boat ramp's right here, right here.
Wow.
And that was taken up above, looking down at them. That's why I have these nice feather colors.
Yep. Yeah. And now that was in the newspaper the other day?
Pardon?
Was this photograph in the newspaper the other day?
Yes, in Keen Shopper.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So what are some of your favorite subjects? I mean, I know we talked about all these different things that you do like to shoot, but what are some of your favorites? It looks like the eagles might be.
Eagles have been heavy this year for me, but probably my best picture I ever took around here was Bohemian waxwing. And I have every animal, everything in Cheshire County, just about. I have fishes, bears, moose, you name it, I got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how is it that you are able to get these pictures?
Patience.
I mean, it takes a lot of time.
Patience.
Right.
Patience.
Yeah.
You might go in for a moose, you might see a sparrow, you never know. You never know.
Yep.
So, yeah, always take your camera with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are some of your favorite places to go? I know that here today we're at Surrey.
Surrey's good.
Yeah.
Westmoreland, Harvey Pond on the Glebe Road's a good one. Then I get phone calls. Someone sees something, I'll go and see if I can get a picture. All Cheshire County is really a lot of animals per square mile is a lot.
Right,
right.
I think we're very lucky to live
Yeah,
where we live.
yeah,
Yeah. So when you do take your pictures, you know, like how long might it take you to get like some of these eagle shots? You know, like when say they're up in the nest and the eagle's feeding its young.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to be there early in the morning? Do they feed at certain times, or is there different weather that's better for you?
Yeah, any day. I don't like getting close to the nest, but the power I got on my cameras, I can be 900 yards away and pick them up.
That's great. So you're really not going to
in the morning,
invasive.
noontime, you never know.
Really? So they're pretty much doing a lot of the things that they do all throughout the day.
Well, they feed more when they have the young for fish until they get grown up, and then they show the young how to feed on their own. So right now, the young are flying, so you don't see as much activity.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
I have another close-up here.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about this one.
It's just in the tree, and it's a real close-up, and I thought that was pretty nice to see all the feathers, and that was taken with the 800 millimeter in the tree.
Okay.
I can't use the 800 millimeter. They only take single shots for standing objects, but you take something like flying, like this one here, you got to get about 5 or 6 pictures a second.
Yeah.
So I only get one shot out of that 800 millimeter. Probably one a second. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your typical day like?
Get up early, get in the woods. That's about it.
Yeah. Just sit and.
I don't like appointments too much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And where have you had some of your photographs shown? You have a few that are international.
Yeah, the Civic Center in Jaffrey, I won first prize quite a few times. Out in the park last week. They're right now in the Hallmark and Keene, Milford, in them stores, like the one on Main Street, Hallmark, and Kimball Farm in Jaffrey, and I have a few little ones here and there.
Yeah, and your photographs are really beautiful because they're nicely presented on the postcard. You also stamp them, or do you?
Yeah, I cut them out at the bottom for design, cut the corners, stamp my name on the back, and put them in sleeves. In their original photos, you can take them out, you can frame them, they're not glued, there's no computers involved.
Right, so it's a piece of art. Really,
I
if
guess
you think
so.
about it, really seriously. I mean, your creativity is really shown in your photographs.
Yeah.
We were looking at some of your photographs earlier, and I couldn't believe how many you've taken. And that's probably just a small amount of what you've taken. But some of the colors and the clarity and the detail on some of your photographs is just amazing. Yeah.
It's all in the camera lens. And time. That's the most important thing is patience.
I think you just have to have patience. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's amazing. You know, when I'm walking through the woods, a lot of times I'll be walking with other people. Say I'm going snowshoeing or whatever, and everybody's always got their heads down, and they're always looking at the ground and doing things. But I often will say, you know, look up, and you never know what you're going to find. Because one time I was walking with my dog, and we saw a fisher cat. And it was up in a tree. I mean, that was the first time I'd ever seen a fisher cat, so I was a little bit worried. But I saw it up in a tree, and it was beautiful. I could have just stood there for a long time, except for the fact that I didn't know what my dog would do or what that animal would do. But it was absolutely beautiful. I was from here, you know, like 20 feet away, and it was just beautiful. But I don't have a picture of it. I have a picture in my mind, but I don't have a picture to show.
And also, I've been in the Calendars Estate Fish and Game Department. I've been in the Wildlife Journal and quite a few magazines, like Birds in Bloom a few times, Outdoor Life. So I've been lucky.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at some of the other photographs that you have, and we'll talk a little bit about those. Okay?
Yeah, fine.
So Fred, now we're inside, and I can hear the rain out there. It's too bad, but we had to come inside. But we have so many pictures that we want to show people, and a little bit more detail about all what's going on these. Now, these are all copywritten in the
Washington, D.C., in the copyright.
And so you have taken the time to make sure that other people are not going to be just using these photos. Right. And it's important because as an artist, you want to have some control over your work.
Correct.
Right. So I'm really interested in a lot of these photographs, and I'd love to know a little bit more about these stories. So, how did you get this picture? Here it is. It's a turtle, and it's feeding.
It's a red-winged blackbird. Had a bug. And feeding a turtle, and that was taken in Westmoreland, Harvey Pond on the Glebe Road.
Wow, wow.
And I was looking for wood ducks, and I just happened to come across that.
Yeah.
Action shot.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing what you can come upon when you just are walking along? Now, you have a lot of photographs that are of eagles. So this one, again, is the one that we had looked at earlier.
Right, but this is the second shot. I can take
yeah.
a lot of pictures per second, but as you come around the bend, I got that one. That was where the boat ramp is again in
Up at
Surrey.
Dam?
Yeah,
Yep.
where the boat ramp is.
Yep, yep. Wow, and I mean, look at, this is just beautiful here. I mean, and then you've got it signed. Wow. And then we've got this one here. This is another beautiful eagle shot.
Yeah, that was in the tree right near the boat ramp, sitting in the tree. And I got him with my 400 millimeter
Yeah,
lens.
yeah. So was he just speaking, or were they feeding, or what were they doing in this?
I couldn't tell you.
No.
I know he's yawning.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, look at the deal. How many times do you get to see that kind of a thing, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this one's beautiful. It almost looks like a painting.
Okay, that is a Bohemian waxwing. That was taken on a dirt road in Surrey. That was last year, by the way.
Wow. And now, is this the male or female?
That's the male.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And so, you know, I know that you have some favorites that you like to shoot, but, you know, birds, or, you know, what is it that you really?
I like birds.
Yeah.
I like birds.
Yeah.
Now this here is a female moose, cow moose. Probably weighs 400 or 500 pounds. That was taken in Allstag Langdon line last winter. He's laying down.
Yeah. Wow. She looks healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then I know I've got one of your favorites here.
Yeah, this is a pretty good sized bobcat. That was taken in Hancock probably 2 years ago, roughly 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice sized cat.
Right, right. And again, very healthy looking animal.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to run into it in the woods, but beautiful, beautiful. This is that little white varmint.
Yeah, this is a little, I can't pronounce the name too well. I guess it's a hermit. They turn white in the winter, and you can just see he's turning a little brown here because it's springtime, and he'll be all brown another month. And that was taken at the Dort Road in Surrey also.
Wow, lots of wildlife up there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, you got a mile of fields, you got the river, you got the mountains behind it, and you got all kinds of wildlife
Yeah,
there.
it's a beautiful area up here.
Believe it or not, this was taken in my backyard. It's a barred owl. And as you can see, it was raining out that day. So.
Yep. Yeah, we saw a lot of owls this year. I walk again along the railroad bed, and we had an owl that was just hanging out for months.
Yeah.
And I could not believe the wingspan on these things, and the noise when they're going through the woods. The woof,
Right.
woof. Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful. Let's see. Oh, and we have a fish here.
Okay,
How do you take these?
this is a funny one. This was taken at Silver Lake. Somebody was fishing and had it on his line. I don't know if you can see in the camera or not, but there's a split shot here, hook in his mouth, and I just happened to get a good shot at him, and it broke the line. So I don't know who had the fish on. I'll give him a picture if I found out, but it's a pretty good shot.
Wow. And look at the detail, you know, of the bottom. I mean, the colors are just beautiful. Again, it looks more like a painting than
Yeah.
a photograph.
And also, the person was fishing from shore early in the spring.
Wow.
Yeah.
That had to be pretty close. Well, how far? Now, how far?
Oh, he
were
was
you?
he was close. I was
Yeah.
looking down at him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he was pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, look at the colors. Beautiful. Now we have a little boy
Okay,
and the female.
that's also, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
There's the male bluebird. Here's the female making a nest, and they were all together. Them two were together at the time. I took single shots at them.
Yeah. Now, what do you have to do in order to get these shots? Because I can see, you know, you've got such a beautiful shot of the bird, and then the outside, the background is just the green.
Okay, this here was at the dirt road also, and he's standing on the boundary sign, and this guy here, the female, is standing on the box where he makes the nest. And he was kind of looking out for her, I guess. So
Yep.
they got plenty of boxes down there for bluebirds down the
Yep.
dirt road.
So is the green like?
The green just the background. It's probably the hemlocks or whatever in the background.
Yeah.
And I try to blur the background out if I can
Right.
on a case like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Let's see. And this is a beautiful owl.
Yeah, that is a snow owl, close up. I got him with this camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at the detail here.
yeah,
I mean, it's just
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, and I think he just got done eating a little vole or a mouse.
What can you see him? He's smiling, or
Yeah,
he's got a full belly.
yeah. So that was a pretty good shot.
Yeah. And then we have these beautiful.
Okay, that
turkeys.
was taken in East Swansea.
That looks like a postcard, honestly. I mean, that.
Yeah, and you also don't see a flock of turkeys flying.
Right.
But
Especially that close.
yeah, and you can see the shadows, and there was 8 of them, I think, in a bunch, or 6 or 8. So that's a rare shot.
It is. It is. I've seen turkeys before in our yard,
yeah.
and they got scared,
Yeah.
they flew up into the trees, but they didn't fly all together.
Right.
They just flew off.
Right.
So yeah. Oh, and this is one of my favorites. Just look at how the colors in this one are.
Okay, this was
incredible.
taken in the mill pond. I guess it's the Keene Swansea line, that little pond there. It was in the fall with all the leaf color, and if you see the blue, that is the outline of the sky. And also, these pictures are all natural. These haven't been worked on. They might have been cropped a little bit, but the color's the original.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a mosaic almost.
Yeah, and all these cards here, I'll show them how to. You can take this out. You can pop these out. And you can also frame them. They're not glued, and they're all original photos. Every one of my photos are original. They're not stamped with a computer.
Right. Right. And then they're all signed too.
That's correct.
Yep. Yep. A
Okay.
lovely loons.
This was taken at Silver Lake a couple of years ago. 2 loons passing each other, and it just come out like this little heart in here. So I saw a few of these at Valentine's, marriages, or someone has twins, or something like that. So that's a pretty
Yeah.
good seller.
Yeah. Now, does Silver Lake have more loons than other ponds, or are there other places that you go to for loon
Well,
pictures?
the only reason I took this to Silver Lake because I lived there at one time, and I had a lot of time to take these pictures.
Yep.
And these are all taken from shore, not a boat.
Wow.
So I don't disturb them.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember being out once and watching the loons in the lake, and all of a sudden we were in the boat, and the loon popped up right next to the boat
Yeah,
within
yeah.
a couple of feet. It was incredible.
Okay, this one here also is the female with a baby on the back, taking a ride, and that was also Silver Lake.
Yeah. Beautiful. Sounds like we're going to get some thunder.
Yeah.
All right, and we have an owl here.
Okay, that's a close-up of a barred owl, and I just used the camera on that and pulled just his head in.
Now, again, how close can you be to
This one was pretty close.
Yeah.
But I could take that at 100, 200 yards easy. But this was real close. That was probably 50 feet,
Yeah.
100 feet or so.
Wow. Wow. And then I've got this other photograph here.
Yeah.
Now, how did you take this one?
Someone took that at me a week or 2 ago,
Yeah.
and they just gave it to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that's what you look like most of the day.
most of the day,
Yeah.
wear camo and try to wear dark colored clothes,
Yeah.
and try to blend in a little bit in the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you teach at all about your photography, or
I-
do you go and talk to different groups or anything like that?
Yes, I have. I've done a few schools like Surrey, Marlborough, and I don't tell them how to run a camera. So I just tell them the basics about the wind, the sun, and and that's it, and patience, and whatever.
Yeah. So if somebody was going to get into photography, what would you recommend they start with?
Have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah. A good summer project for
Yeah, there
a
you
kid
go.
or
There you go.
something.
And you know, a decent camera. You know,
Right.
you don't have. Today they make cameras you can buy reasonable. You know, you can get a $150 camera, and they work well.
Right.
But long range, you might be in a little trouble.
Right.
But they take excellent pictures.
Right, right.
And
And now
no
your
technology.
lenses, I mean, this camera here is not your typical camera.
No.
I mean, it almost feels like you have to have some kind of a sling to hold it because, I mean, that's a pretty long lens. It's probably not all that heavy.
Not many people paint a $3,000 camera.
Well, right. but even just holding it, like how would you adjust? You got this adjustment here and this adjustment here?
This here is adjustment on your focus, and it's you can adjust here on your focus.
Yep.
And the automatic focus, you know, you push down on this, and you can shoot this manually, turn this if you like, you know, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't know if you're going to be going out today.
No, I don't think so.
So what do you do when it rains?
Go home, make some pictures, I guess,
Right.
put some together.
Yep.
And go around, maybe see if I can display them somewhere.
Yep. That sounds good. That sounds good.
If anybody wants any of these, they could go to Hallmark and Keene on Main Street, and they got most of my photos.
Yeah, and there's probably a few more that aren't even on display there. If someone had some subject that they wanted to have photographs of, do they have your contact information there, or is it on your?
Every one of my cars has my address.
Right. Yep.
And,
Yeah. So they could get a hold of you and they could get your photographs from them.
yeah, they can get them from them, or also get in contact with me.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I have plenty of pictures on
Right.
hand
Right. So what's your favorite time of year for photographs?
right now.
Yeah. The fall,
In the spring also.
spring too. Yeah.
You have the young are born, the birds nesting,
Yeah.
the eagles feeding their young.
Yeah.
So there's always something going on. Winter's great.
Yeah.
Do a little tracking. So
Yeah.
all year round. It's
Yeah.
all year round.
Right.
Fishing, you know, it's nonstop in Cheshire County.
Yeah. It really is a great place to live, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going up to Pittsburgh the 19th of October and take pictures of moose. So I'll have some new moose,
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. I remember going up to Pittsburgh and they had the bear dumps.
Yeah.
Do you ever take
Oh,
pictures?
yeah.
Yeah. And then it is amazing to see that there are a lot of moose up there and the way that they cross over and different things. I think they're very lucky up there to still have that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, thank you today,
Yeah.
Fred. This has been great learning about you and all your photographs. And
Yeah,
you know, I
it's
feel
been
like
fun.
you give somebody something to take away that stays with them, even though it's a photograph, but
Yeah.
it stays with them forever, and it's a memory.
Yeah, and you've just seen a few of them.
I know.
got thousands
So
of them.
more, so many more,
So
yeah.
it works out fine for me, and
Yeah.
I have fun,
Good.
except for the rain.
I know. Well, you know what? I always say that this is God's way of giving us time to relax.
Right,
That we
right.
need some time to just
Right.
settle down and sit down for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it's been wonderful having you here
Okay,
today.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So today we've been in my backyard with Fred Martin. If you are interested in information about Fred or the In My Backyard show, you can email us at inmybackyardch8@gmail.com. We'll get back to you, and feel free. We'd love to hear from you. So we'll see you again in my backyard.